Terry, we're back with Breaking Bad, and it's an episode that has many returns. We got Gomi's back, we got the veggie tray, and more importantly, we have the Todd.
Hey now!
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here to ameliorate this sideshow.
Oh,
hey, put the thesaurus away. Welcome back to the Almost Sideshow, everybody. This is the trifecta of depravity. We have Terry, Todd, and Adam here to break it down, and we're breaking down Breaking Bad. Break down a Breaking Bad. There were some inside references there. But anyway, welcome back, boys. We're welcome to... I'm excited for this episode. This is a really solid damn episode. So welcome.
Hi, Todd.
Hello. Happy to be here. It's a great episode.
How you doing?
Oh, just doing the thing.
I didn't know it was Christmas already.
Yes. All right, yeah, I'm excited. This is gonna be a great episode. It's great to have Todd back.
As always, yes.
Still MIA Zach. He's got to get on one of these at some point. And I think he claimed like the second to last episode or something like that. So which means it's far enough out that he'll forget by the time it shows up.
He's like, I've been waiting for my invite all year.
Like, you need to listen to an episode before you can be on an episode. I think that's fair.
But we are breaking down today season 4, episode 7, which is called Problem Dog, which aired August 28th, 2011. And did you guys watch this episode when it was airing live?
I never watched a single episode live.
Todd.
Yeah, season 4 was the first season that I watched when it was airing.
Heck yeah. Where were you? August 28th, 2011.
I was probably working. But...
Okay, well, cool. Anyway, let's break that down.
Wasn't this a Sunday show, though? I think it was a Sunday night show, wasn't it?
This is a Sunday show.
I think it moved a couple of times, but yeah, it probably was Sunday at that point. Because the episodes are right around. It was like I would watch like Breaking Bad and Dexter, like back to back.
Yeah, good double features of shows. So, all right, Terry, break that synopsis down for us.
Let's do it. Here we go. Season 4, episode 7 of Breaking Bad is entitled Problem Dog. Jesse is shooting people on video games, picturing Gale. Walt is going for a joyride in his son's car. The mental state of our leads is obviously at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Walt is realizing that he might have too much money to launder effectively through the car wash. And he also needs to find a way to get to Gus before he becomes expendable. And Jesse might be the way to do it. He sees him. It might happen again. And now he has a cigarette full of ricin to do it. But he doesn't. He has an opportunity when Gus meets with the cartel, but instead protects him during the meeting. Gus is busy trying to keep the peace with the cartel who don't want to. He also has a new variable to worry about, Hank. He is doing some reconnaissance on a hunch related to Gale's murder, connecting it with Gus. His hunch brings about a revelation. Gustavo Fring's fingerprints are all over Gale's apartment, and now the DEA knows.
Dun, dun, dun. What a finale. I think there was some really cool reveals with the Gus stuff. Specifically, I loved when Jesse's thinking about the ricin with the coffee, and then you see him actually drinking the coffee. I thought that was like a brilliant shot there, very subtle shot there. That whole very fast, like, oh man, Gus trying to bring in Walter Jr. to work for him. Oh, wouldn't that be a twist in the old twist of all twists there? That'd be crazy to see what Walter Sr. would do, or Walter. This was a really good episode, man. It just kept on building on the layers, and I was like, the whole time, I'm like, bring in Hank. I want to see Hank. I called some of it. It was really cool to see. I don't like the goatee on Steven. He cut it off. Looks like what did he say? A dog's butthole or something like that? What did he say?
Yeah. Would you show your barber a picture of a dog's ass and say, go with that?
That might be one of the best line deliveries of all season so far. it just proves that we missed this dynamic. This is the dynamic of these two characters that are just so great. This was a fun episode. The music they played for his little joyride with the Challenger was so funny. I'm like, yeah, he messed that car up when he got his little accident. And that was he's like, yeah, he'll see me. Don't worry, he'll find me in this parking lot. Yeah, it's just a really good episode. We got to pretty much see a lot of our favorite characters there. However, when they did go back to the little when Jesse went back to see the group leader, did miss Brandon and Peter. Yeah, I missed those guys there. Yeah, I missed these guys. But it was a really solid episode. It's fun to see kind of the moving parts and that how things are not as easily as planned as one will hope when you launder money in a car wash and realizing maybe that arcade was probably a better idea that they were thinking about. Maybe Saul has some good ideas every once in a while. But
laser tag.
Yeah, laser tag. That's yeah. So
did a good hideout for Jesse too.
Yeah, it did double down. But yeah, it was a really fun episode, and it was only frustrating because we had to pause it a couple times. I'm like, stop it! Rewind it a little bit. I need to. I want to hit the quote in its entirety, not mid sentence. But yeah, it was a really solid episode.
I think this episode is definitely ringing true that this is a very different season, right? Because like season 3, you had so many moments of you had so much going on all the time as it was pushing everything forward. This season, you're settling in, and it's this cat and mouse game with everyone involved. And that's all we've had, right? There's been no bubble over the top. There's been no, need to ditch the RV before Hank finds it. I mean, there's none of that in this. It's all just what's Walt doing, what's Jesse doing, and how's Gus trying to play them. And it makes the season it makes this season that much harder to stop after each episode because it's all just leading into the next one and leading into the next one as it continues to build. Todd?
Yeah, and especially this episode, it ends in a spot that you're just like, oh, come on. I want another scene. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make this season any less intense. It's just quietly intense, I guess. I mean, at least at this point. And I want to be on this episode, especially because it's written and directed by Peter Gould, who is the creator and really the mastermind behind Better Call Saul. And this is this one and the other episode I'm going to be on later are like the ones that are most Better Call Saul adjacent. Like you get the Saul being like, I know a guy who knows a guy type stuff. You get more of like cartel backstory kind of stuff. It's really interesting to me because I'm a huge fan of that show too, as you guys know. And this episode it has some iconic moments, some iconic lines. Terry's banner is one of my favorite lines of the whole show.
Ditch the thesaurus. Wow, I didn't realize how hard of a line that was to actually utter.
I said it on my first try in the opening. Yes.
And I got to give credit. Mine was some guy on Reddit I came across. Their fingerprints. But yeah,
I didn't even notice there was an R in there. Well done.
That is a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great episode, and it's just a great gag just seeing Walter Jr. and Hank both crutching into a chicken restaurant.
That is great.
That is
two Gimps walk into a fried chicken place. That's the start of some joke.
Yes.
Todd, you got to show off your cup. Like you show.
Oh yes.
He's got some Breaking Bad commemorative cups, and
says
you're nothing to me but a customer.
Except he says you're nothing to me but customers. So the cup is a little wrong, but it is the right episode.
It is the right episode.
That's appropriate. Yeah, we got to speak about Jesse a little bit too here. That was a kind of really heartbreaking sequence because the only reason he goes back is because Walt also kind of is playing him too because he mentioned his girlfriend and the brother that got killed, the kid. He's like, oh, and does he think you're really this naive to forget about the after he just said no children and they killed him? I just wanted to see Walter kind of smile, but you're seeing the most like important scene of that whole like episode that sequence there is that he's painting over the all the graffiti in this house, so he's trying to move on, which is awesome too. So good job, Jesse.
Which means Gus's plan is working.
That is
Right?
true.
He gave him some responsibility, gave him something to do, and now he's cleaning everything up. That's good. It's good.
And walking around with poison in his pocket.
And
Like
walking with a pocket full of poison. Yeah.
Not like
All right. Well, we've been mentioning a few things. Let's get into it. What is the best scene of this episode? Todd, I'm going to start with you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, I love Saul and Walt. That scene is so much fun because Saul is doing his thing on the phone and Walt's just sitting there like 3/4 asleep, and then eventually, you get the great lines. You get Saul just like becoming the guy. Like he's like yes, I know people, but they know Mike, and he's like, does everyone know Mike? He's like, how do you think I got their numbers? Like I mean, like Saul is awesome in that scene, and
just tell me it's done.
Yeah. Did I just wake you? Like, yeah. It's a great scene because and Walt, you could see just getting pushed to the point of just being like, I want to hire a hitman. So
wrong.
Yeah. So the kids call epic fail.
Yeah, kids call that epic fail. Yeah.
Should we try Craigslist?
That's an interesting one.
That's still relevant today. That's how I found my job. Anyway,
there you go. Adam, what's the best scene?
It's a pretty good one. I like Hank. So Hank and Walter Jr. go get some chicken. I think that's just a great scene. I missed seeing my favorite assistant to the regional manager there. That's a missed opportunity. She should have been there. It's also cool to see Gus interacting, and there was a great play with Hank just back on the case, rocking the New Balance swag. And then just kind of limping and crawling. That's the weirdest chicken crawl I've ever seen in my life. But it's a great sequence. And then right when they did the whole like, oh yeah, I'll take some Diet Coke. And then my wife, right when he like filled it up, my wife was like, is he trying to get his fingerprints? And and he brought out the evidence back right after she said that. I was like, oh my God, he did it. That was awesome. There was a multi-layered stuff what he was doing. It was really cool.
Yeah, and you get
go ahead.
I was gonna you get Walter Jr. sort of having the back of his dad, where like unknowingly, like not giving away the fact that he just is like loaded with cash. He's like, oh, I kind of like, you guilted him into it, and he's like, yeah, kind of.
I would give my left nut for 15 minutes in that car, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
I like how you start to notice in this episode too that Hank has lost a little weight as he's going through his physical therapy. Like it's a noticeable he's lost a little bit. But I don't know how much longer that's going to last if he knows he's got free fried chicken for life. So that's going to change. That's going to change.
Not if he thinks. Well, I guess if he's trying to investigate Gus, I guess he could try to show up randomly and say, "Hey, do you ever see this guy here?"
Yeah, that's true. All right, my best scene it's the therapy session. It's there's so much going on in that scene, and I love how the group leader he knows Jesse enough that he can just kind of call him, Jesse, haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? And he still knows everything that he's mentioned. Still working at the laundry and how are things going? And like he just goes with it. And Jesse, you learn so much about Jesse in this scene because he needs to talk it out. And it was like, this is the one place he can actually talk it out. And he's trying to get it all out so he can understand where he needs to be and what he needs to do and who he needs to be. and then it all turns because everyone starts talking out of turn and turns him. It's like, no, you know what? You're right. I am the bad guy. So screw all this. None of it matters. You're nothing to me but customers. Like that's where how he leads there. And the camera angle as he's going through that is so cool too, as it's looking up at him. And the group leader, his face in that is just great too. It's like, do you accept? No. It's a scene that just breaks your heart because you know how hard Jesse has worked and how all of it has now officially become unraveled. But he's putting his life back together. At the same time, it's still unraveling, and the one spot that was always a safe spot for him can't be anymore. So
I also liked how it was a good Jesse and Walt always have scenes that foreshadow one another. It seems like the scene with Saul, they mentioned a word I didn't even know really what this word was. Contrition. Yeah, that's the word. Contrition, whatever the word is.
Contrition.
Well, it's not thesaurus. Anyway, basically, God damn it, I forget. God, what is it? A state of feeling remorseful and penitent. So it's funny how it was mentioned in the Walter scene, and he definitely felt remorseful about the freaking car thing and adding so much more extra funds to the bill. And then you immediately have this scene with Jesse shortly after. It's like they really just kind of mirror each other, having their different moments that, I somehow stumbled through that sentence. So that's good. Yeah. Yes. Moving on.
The Ken Wins Bogdan Douchebag Award goes to who, Adam?
Damn it, Colleen. He's sharing over here. Can we not have crosstalk?
Right?
Come on, Colleen.
There's only one answer to this episode, and it's Colleen.
But why would anybody kill innocent dogs? Why would you kill you dog killer?
She's the one that messed up Jesse.
She's the Karen of the episode.
Yes.
She's who Beth Grant will play.
Yes, if it were today, her name would have been Karen. Yeah. Colleen's the worst. She's the worst. Yeah. She ruins it all. Watch the crosstalk.
She was trying to give him credit. She's like, "Oh, he was sick." He's like, "No, he wasn't sick." Oh, but he bit someone. No, he didn't do anything to anybody.
He kills a dog for no reason.
It's an analogy.
There are other douchebags. I think. Did you have one, Terry?
Who do you got, Todd? I had Colleen. I'll look for another one while you talk.
I have Martine, which is the guy who cleans
car wash guy.
Yeah, the guy at the car wash who just he does the car wash thing and then he stands there waiting for a tip, and it reminds me of the montage in 25th Hour, with the squeegee man. It's like, you just did your job. Why do I have to tip you now? But he's standing there as if he's expecting a tip, and he gets a tip.
Because Skylar also freaking said, "Hey, give him a tip."
It's because he was standing there, not moving. It's like, okay, maybe we have to tip this guy, even though we own, he works for us.
Yeah, that's a good point. I kind of liked him though. I liked Martine.
He was my best new face. Martine was my best new face.
He's up there,
yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. If you got to go with another one,
I mean, Walt's douchey in this too.
Walt is douchey in this.
When Jesse's painting and he's just pushing his buttons, he's clearly talking about Jesse to Jesse, or about Jesse around Jesse almost, and it's just so demeaning. I mean, that's the douchiest scene of the whole episode.
Yeah, and you also have those other kind of guys at the chicken farm too. It's like, "What's up?" They don't even say anything back.
I'm gonna say, all right. I've got another one. My douchebag is going to be Glenn, the guy who Walt has to talk to at the dealership that is still going to charge him an $800 restocking fee.
I researched that. I was like, "Is that a thing?" Oh yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, that's my other douchebag. All right, the Pink
13 miles on that. Come on.
I know, right? The Pink Man Stickman Award goes to who, Todd?
I have Hank. because supposedly he was a maniac with his PT, which I think is probably some sort of euphemism that Maria is using talking about his stickman prowess, because she absolutely lit up when she was talking about it. So I think he's finally getting it again. And plus, he has the thing where he's talking to the lady or to the 20-year-old intern at a magical electromotive, and he uses the Schrader sweet talk, and he gets it right in. So
and Gomi is like, yeah, you did. Yeah, you have a sweet talk.
Like, that's my Hank,
Yeah.
It's a great call. That's a great call. I went with his name. I didn't realize this was his name, but it says on IMDb his name is Gaff.
Yeah,
he's the cartel guy. Like, he just had, some guys just have that air about them that they're stickmen, and he is one of those. Like, he just walks on screen, like, oh yeah, that's a stickman.
Yeah, that's who I had too. That's a good call. It's a good call.
Yeah, Hank's a great call too. You got a good impression there of Hank there, Todd. That's good.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
It worked. I thought it worked. All right. Best new face.
You.
Hey, that's Danny Trejo award. Like I said, mine's Martine, the car wash employee. I mean, he's not like Rob Schneidering it in Home Alone, like he gets the gum instead.
Oh,
but yeah. Oh, right.
Yeah.
But I think he's great. He's just standing there smiling, like, have a nice day.
He reminds me of Guillermo from, what is that? Kimmel?
Yes, he would totally be played by Guillermo from Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Todd, who do you got?
I have the support group member played by Michael Yak Oliva, and he's the guy who looks like a biker. I mean, he only has one line. I can't actually figure out what he said or what it actually was supposed to mean, but I could have seen a couple more scenes with that guy. He seemed like fun.
Probably is part of the Hell's Angels. Yeah, he's probably do it. Yeah,
he wants to party, man. Yeah. All right,
he said something about a rock. He's like, you pick up the rock and then it's all over. I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. He's like, it's not the rock that was the problem. And I was like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about anymore. And I'm like, I'm watching the scene.
Man.
Well, they were.
Yeah.
It was a drug use. Yeah. Anyway. Martine's a good call. It's a good call too. Gaff would have been an interesting new face, but I'm gonna go with Steve Aoki. He's a DJ and music producer. He is the image on Jesse's shirt at the chicken farm.
Oh,
long hair and
very nice.
Yeah, I thank you, Breaking Bad Wiki, for breaking that down. When I read that, I was like, yeah, that's a good option right there for new face.
That's a good call.
Wasn't Gaff in the last episode? He was the guy.
Yeah,
he was the guy that ripped off the truck, right? So he's not quite new, I guess.
Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't quite put two and two together, but it makes sense. Yeah. He definitely likes his sandwiches. That's right.
All right. The Gomi minor character of the episode goes to who, Adam?
Well, we mentioned Martine a little bit, but sitting next is that guy sitting next to the group leader, somebody in Walter's class in the first season?
Ooh. Is it?
Conspiracy theory.
No, it is. It's fair. His name was Ben. It's the guy, and it's verified on the Breaking Bad wiki. It's the same guy from the first season. Yeah.
So if you are a student of Walter White, you end up in therapy.
Apparently.
Ben, Jesse. I mean, I'm sure there's others.
Yeah. So I saw that and I was like, I can't. Jason Bird is his name, but it's just
okay.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Shout out to the Breaking Bad wiki. That
was a pretty. Yeah, I was like, I saw that. I was like, he did look kind of familiar. That was kind of who I was going. I'm like, that guy looks familiar. I'm like, what? I tried to research who that guy was, and I come to find out, that's the guy. It was in other episodes.
Well, I'm going with the group leader. I've always liked him. I think he's a really cool character.
Mm-hmm.
He's someone who can be real with Jesse, and Jesse can be real with. and he can call Jesse out on it, and Jesse can say whatever he wants to him, and nothing's really going to phase him. Like, even when he's like, I'm only here so I can sell you meth, like, it takes him aback, but he doesn't back down.
Because he's an addict too, so he understands.
Right, he gets it. And so, like, I've always liked him.
Yeah.
And the way that goes down, you think that it might be the last time we see him, at least for a while. But he's such a cool character for the little bit that we get him.
So this is just the minor character of the episode, right? We don't have any special names to it, right?
The Gomi minor character.
Oh, the Gomi group leader minor character. I could have
used Gomi.
We could have used Gomi.
He has his
Steven, as Adam likes to call him now.
Yeah, because he has his goatee. It's not
the
cool.
only person that calls him Steven is Marie.
Yeah. Hi, Steven Gomez.
I think she said Steve. Hi, Steve.
That's true, yeah. But anyway.
God.
Well, it's one of the, I mean, there aren't a whole lot of people that you haven't seen before. So, I mean, if we're just talking about a straight minor character in the episode, I mean, Saul has one scene and he absolutely kills it. I probably would go with him.
Yeah, generally, yeah, he always kills every scene. It's great.
Misdemeanor trash burning.
Oh,
yeah, sure, trash burning.
Yes, charge. Yeah, jeez.
All together will put you about $52,000.
Dude, that was
a little joyride. I love it. Okay. The cow house. Dumbest thing said in the episode. There's some good ones here. I've got a couple. Both were said by Marie. First it was who wants their car to smell like a sixth grader's desk?
Mm-hmm.
And then later on she's like, you should do a grand reopening. You know, so everyone knows they won't be confronted by the eyebrows of doom.
I thought she was awesome in that scene. I don't know.
She was great, but they're just it's the closest thing you can come, because there's not really any dumb moments in this. There's just some solid lines that make you laugh. Mm-hmm. Todd?
Well, it like one thing. It's not necessarily dumb, but it like the asking the question is dumb, and that was when Mike gives Jesse the gun and he asks if it's loaded.
Loaded, yeah.
It's like you're just like saw that they set up an entire like shootout almost, and he gives you a gun and you have to ask if it's loaded. Like, what are you doing?
That's a valid point.
Yeah, I wrote that down too. I wrote also the pina colada, more like stale bubble gum. Who would like their desk to smell like a sixth grade or car smell like a sixth grader's desk? So, misdemeanor trash burning, I also put down as a dumb line. That's pretty funny. That's what the kids would call epic fail. But I think ameliorate that's the dumbest thing to say.
Ameliorate.
That's what I said. Ameliorate.
Yeah, it's like so smart that it's pretentious and dumb. Like,
yes.
Like he could have easily said alleviate or mitigate or something, and he says ameliorate. Isn't Saul just be like, okay, let's ditch the thesaurus? It's not like, what are you talking about, or what does that even mean, or what, or he just, or like, shut up. He's just like, let's ditch the thesaurus.
Yeah, I think that him using these.
It's hard to say, right?
It is.
The thesaurus is the problem.
I could say thesaurus fine. That's just the other word.
The thesaurus.
Oh, yeah, ditch the thesaurus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. But yeah, just see the fact that you have to use these words kind of makes you a douchebag. Just saying.
So one last thing I just found. We mentioned when Hank finally sees Gomi again, he mentions that his face looks like a dog's butthole. But the first thing he says when he sees the goatee is, "Oh, I see you got your period."
Well, no, he says. No, that's later. He's like, "Oh," he's like, I have an announcement or something.
Oh,
like, you got your period.
That's what it was. That's even worse. It would have been better if he had said it when he saw his goatee.
Yeah. He said something else at that point, though. I can't remember what it was, though. It was something similar, though.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. Every time, or the other thing I was just thinking, how many times does Walt say residue when he's trying to hide his conversation with Jesse? You bring a light over here. Do you see any residue? in there. I think there's some residue. Maybe it's not residue.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I'll just give it one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it one more run, one more wash, just to clear the rest of the residue.
Mhm.
Yeah. Any problems or outdatedness with this episode that you need to shout out?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good. I was
so obviously, hindsight, I think them not having what happened? I missed it. Whatever. We're moving on. So I think that the hindsight, him not putting a camera in that back room is kind of dumb. No, because if they can make some kind of sneak some stuff in, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
We got to bring the fact in that video game that he was playing, Rage, which came out 2 months after the episode aired.
What?
It did. The game came out 2 months after.
How is that possible?
I don't know, but it did. It came out in October 2011.
So they had early access to the game and put it in.
That's not the issue I have. The issue I have is that controller, that gun controller, was never a thing. That was a fake thing they made for the episode. I researched it. Never made it.
Of course you're researching the video games. I was watching it last night, and my wife looks at it and goes, so he's like playing R-rated Duck Hunt.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a green Duck Hunt gun.
And then another kind of weird thing, too, is when he comes in with all the laundered money, he had Coke Zero, Diet Coke, Dr. Pepper, and Sprite. I believe Dr. Pepper is a Pepsi product. You wouldn't necessarily see them all in one vending machine.
Oh.
Logistics.
Nice.
And since when does a car wash stock their own vending machine? Like, don't they hire people to do that?
The only person that saw him was Marie. I don't think she was putting that together.
Todd and I may have had a math teacher whose job it was on the side to stock vending machines.
We did.
We did. He'd leave. It was before school every day. Before school every day, he would stock vending machines all morning, and then he'd show up to school and teach.
Oh yeah.
Not car wash, stocking vending machines.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same idea, though.
All right, I have a few things for.
Do it.
For you could see the menu in the back of Los Pollos Hermanos, or in the background, and it was like $6 for a full fast food meal. You can't get anything for less than like $11 now. That was not that long ago. Another is Gale. Apparently, it was only 34. Like
Yeah.
David Costabile was 44 when this was shot, and like he was on Suits soon after this, and he looked like he was easily 50. So I mean, 34 for Gale is generous.
That is generous.
15 also for Walter Jr.
Yeah, and also a pina colada flavored air freshener could be problematic because that's an alcoholic beverage, and you want your car smelling like that.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
That's why it smells like stale bubblegum.
It's a great call.
That's true.
Is that booze? Yeah.
How about outdated still having a car lighter in the car?
Oh,
like everyone's got the outlets, but you never get the lighter in the car anymore.
Well, they need to do that because Walt's never carrying a lighter around on him, so they had to be like, maybe we'll just put this in this car. It probably was too late to actually still have that.
Okay. So that's the parking lot at the university.
That's empty.
Yeah, there's nothing around. Like it. I mean, I think we see all the way around
university. It could be university, it could be the street.
Oh.
But yeah, I mean it does just seem like it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But that's where he took him to drive, right? That's where he took Walter Jr. the first time.
I think so.
Yeah.
No cones this time, though. Just a curb that you can go over. So I think we can deduce that Walter Jr. is a better driver at this point.
Yeah.
Even if he uses both feet. All right. Midlife crisis moment. Adam, it's to you.
Dang, there's two really good ones. But one of them I kind of mentioned about a doctor. earlier episode, the New Balance shoes. But no, it's doing donuts in a Mustang or a Challenger. Yeah, just doing a joyride. That's kind of, you're getting an expensive car and you're like, yeah, screw it. I make enough money. I'm just gonna just do some donuts, go for a little joyride. I think that's a midlife crisis moment. A little out of rebellion.
Yeah, that's a good one. Todd.
I have a few things written down, but one of them is just awkwardly sitting on the ground because it hurts to sit crisscross applesauce. Like, Walter sits down to watch the car. He has one leg up and one leg straight out. It was the most awkward looking sit I've ever seen, but I know what he's doing because that was going to hurt.
That is like the most brilliant choice we could have possibly imagined on any category. I think that is.
Thank you.
That is something brilliant, actually. That's a work of art.
I felt his pain.
I did too, actually, now that you said something.
That's a good one. That is a great one. The one I was having trouble coming up with something for this, and the one I came up with was the idea of it might be a complete BS line, but the idea that Gus sees something in Jesse, and I love how it comes up with he's like, what does he see in me? It's like, I don't know, kid. If I were to guess, it's loyalty. And I mean, it's just such a great moment there. But that idea of seeing things in people that other people don't. I mean, being a teacher, you have those moments with students where it's like all they need is to see that someone believes in them, and so many things can change. And that's what Gus is doing right there. Is he's putting some faith in someone who's no one's ever believed in, and hey, look at that. He steps up to the plate. So yeah, seeing things in people. That's what I'm going to go with as my midlife crisis.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say actually taking free food or a drink when it's offered.
Now that's
actually great.
That is another great one. Yes.
That's more just like what you've said on this show before, like just not having the pride that Walter does. Like, I would take his money. Of course I would. He's like, well, you can get a meal whenever you come in. You'd be like, hell yeah, I'm going in there every day.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point. Well, and who doesn't take the free soda? Walter Jr. Who does?
Not
Hank.
midlife.
Hank has no problem with it.
Because Hank just guzzled his whole drink.
I know. Yeah. I'm surprised Hank didn't ask to be reimbursed.
Even better.
It's like, oh, I didn't know that. I mean, could you give me my money back then?
I would have been a fun story to hear him tell later. And you know what, Marie? And the other one I was thinking about for midlife crisis is just like knowing artificial flavors, like how they really smell, and that they don't actually smell like what they're supposed to smell like. Like I could see how pina colada would smell like stale bubble gum or vomit or something, but like I'll smell like what I know is fake grape or something, and I'll be like, that doesn't even smell like grape, and it kind of just makes me want to throw up. So knowing the artificial flavors, I think that is something you get to do as you get older.
Oh, we didn't even mention this. You mentioned the pina colada, but the air freshener smelled like hemp. You wouldn't want to drive with that, right?
No,
Weed smell.
Not.
Yeah,
probably not.
True.
So, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
But no, that's a great point. It reminds me of the scene in The Office where Michael's cleaning up his car and he's having Ryan help him. He's like, okay, I've got a Gatorade here. Where do you want it? He goes, ooh, what flavor is it? Blue. Blue's not a flavor. What flavor is it? Blue Rush. Oh, Blue Rush. Oh, yes. Then put that in the cup.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I like that.
LVP of the episode is who, Todd? Or what?
The LVP, I think, is $50 bills because they are not good for a car wash, but they're only really good for gambling, which kind of fits his narrative that he would have a bunch of those, but they're also just not ideal for like paying people or doing anything for, because they're too big to just like break all the time, and they're too small to actually pay out people. So $50 bills, kind of the LVP.
President Grant, brilliant.
Presidente
Grant, excellent man.
It's good man. It's good man.
That's good man. Yeah.
Adam, what do you got?
Skylar here. This is the first time I'll say this for this season. All of a sudden now he makes too much money, and now this is a bad idea. Like, now it's too much to launder. Like this car wash idea was your idea. He didn't specify. He trying to give you limited deniability. Is that the word I'm looking for? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's trying to
Plausible
give you
deniability.
That's what it is. Yes, thank you. LVP on me in this episode, me probably. But yeah, this is now it's too much money. You make over $7.5 million a year, give or take,
before expenses.
He's like,
I just love the look on her face. Is like, wait, you make how much? This is what we're doing. This
just
is
get a calculator.
Tell me that.
now it's real, essentially. So like, this is the one time she's been such a great character this last 6 episodes, and this was the one I was like, this is what you're getting yourself into. He said he makes a lot of money. You underestimated.
That's a good one. That's good. My LVP is kind of related. It's Walton Schuyler's ability to fake a kiss. Like that was painful.
Yeah,
that was painful to watch. And if Marie was paying any attention at all, instead of just looking at the wall and trying to find the purple air freshener, then she would have noticed that there was something wrong there. No, she wasn't trying. She was trying to find the purple air freshener so she could slip it in her purse and not pay for it. Let's be honest here. That's really what was going on.
Not wearing purple in the last scene.
Yeah, that's what thing. She wasn't wearing purple the last scene.
She was wearing like light blue of some kind or something.
That's a good point.
I don't understand that. Maybe because
it was the lighting was a little weird because it was dark in the building and light outside, so the reflection was off. But I mean, it didn't look like purple.
Are we carrying a conspiracy theory that this proves Hank's stickman prowess because
should have changed her clothes?
The purple had to be changed on the way after before they went.
He effed the purple off of her. Anyway.
There it is.
Hey now.
I bleeped myself.
With a little sex in it.
Yes. Good job, Hank.
My other LVP was sandals and socks.
Oh.
It's just not practical, and that's
a real nerd.
Yeah. His own lentil or like toasted lentil loaf or whatever I can't remember.
Whatever that is.
Yeah,
fermented lentil bread, whatever that is.
Yeah, he says that. My wife goes, "Yeah, that's not a thing."
I would know.
Yeah, she would know.
She would.
All right. My MVP is
suspense.
Like, he's back in all of his glory. I was gone. Are we good? We're good now.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me. You can hear me now. All right.
What's the MVP?
MVP time.
MVP.
Thank you. MVP time. It's kind of related to what we were just talking about. Hank's back. Hank is back in all of his glory in everything that's happening here. The only thing that was missing to complete the Hank cycle of majesty is some Schrader brow. Other than that, we had everything we needed to have a full quality Hank in this episode, and he was sorely missed. So, welcome back, Hank.
Yeah, agreed. It's definitely Todd walks around with an ace up his sleeve. Hank also does as well with the why is Gus's fingerprints at Gail's house? Yeah, that was
he saved the bombshell for last. That was
what a
made it up nicely.
Which is also
he didn't even mention any minerals in this episode.
That's minerals, Marie.
Minerals, Marie.
The only thing that makes him, it's like that you at least you're walking, pal. You're looking great. You're looking great. Real good. You're making a great recovery.
Hey, he's walking. He's moving along. He's grooving. He's doing good.
Got a mobility scooter too, which was great.
Mm-hmm. Adam MVP.
Oh yeah, it's Hank. It's Hank.
Okay.
Yeah,
good. Yeah. Todd.
We're on the same page. Yeah.
I wrote down Aaron Paul because his scene in therapy is just one of the reasons why he's so great in this show. Like he'll rip your heart out so fast, and he's amazing at that.
Yeah. As he rips the heart out of everyone in there, he's ripping your heart out at the same time and ripping his own heart out. And
Kicking my ass, mind.
All right. Well, we're going to hear what Adam thinks is going to happen next. But first, the Walter White body count is 1 Emilio, 1 Crazy 8, 1 car, 1 custodian's career, 1 Tuco hideout, 1 lock, 1 uneaten burrito, 1 paper towel holder,
What?
1 back door to Jesse's house, 1 love of Jesse's life, a few burned $100 bills, a pepperoni pizza, 1 career in education, 1 meth making RV, 1 beginning of a galeful friendship, 1 fly, 2 kid killing drug dealers, 1 Gail Bedecker, 1 fateful bottle of wine, 3 laundry worker jobs, and 1 Walter Jr. dream car.
Oh, good add-on.
Nice.
Yeah. And the Jesse ass kicked count remains at 8, which means he now gets his ass kicked once every 5 episodes. He hasn't gotten his ass kicked for over a season now, and it's still once every 5 episodes. It just shows how much he spent with a black eye those first 2 seasons. It was the majority of the time.
You could argue what he does to himself in therapy was kicking his own ass. Like,
it's a valid point.
As much, it probably hurt more than most of them.
Should I make it like an 8.5?
Somehow
Yes,
Adam has a half
I like
point
it.
and a half.
8.5. He's gotten his ass kicked 8.5 times. Emotional ass kicking by himself.
It's been multiple times that it's happened though. So yeah, 8.5. I like it.
All right, Adam, you've got 2 experts over here that have seen what's happening next. What do you think is happening next?
This is tough. I kind of like the idea of Hank going back and trying to get some more chicken and just trying to like pick Gus's brain and try to like trap him, do an entrapment type of situation. This is tough because there's a lot of different. I think there's going to be something with the cartel is going to be involved, as well with Gus. The whole cartel stuff is definitely kind of throwing me. I just don't know where that kind of all plays because that's just like this other spinning plate over here when you're really focusing your attention over here. I feel like it's like they're trying to change my expectations. Like, I'm going to focus over here, then something crazy is going to happen in our main storyline. So it's tough, but I feel like the next episode's trajectory could be going in the realm of it's going to kind of focus on some cartel stuff. Possibly. I just have a feeling that they need to focus on some of that to figure out what's going on there. And I really think that I want to see Hank at the Polos Hermanos. Yeah, they're getting some more chicken, picking Gus, have a face-to-face with Gus, have a real conversation.
I don't know if it's next, but I will tell you this: the cartel stuff gets good.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the stuff that. Because it's the stuff that it's the most disjointed stuff that happens in the entire season. We haven't really talked about it too much because there's been so many other like big stuff that we need to talk about. But it has all these weird openings where like the last episode was an opening that had the cartel stuff. Mike in the back of a truck had the cartel stuff, and having all these, and then also that one guy with the
yeah.
That guy had
another great visual gag on an audio medium. Well done.
So having those scenes in this show, it's been very disjointed at points because you're getting these little breadcrumbs like, hey, this is where we're going, this is where we're going to go to, this is where we're going to go,
reminding you that there's something else going on in Gus's life besides worrying about Walter White.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, Walter just making the center of attention. It's all about him. It's all about Walter White.
Yeah, at this point, you know very little about the cartel and what is actually going on.
And now that we have actually a face-to-face meeting with this guy, and here we go. Here's a thought. Maybe Gus thinks like you're the only one coming. He's like, well, I was sent to be the main cartel. What happens if that guy is the real cartel guy? And it was just like, oh, those other guys are just my decoys. As like, so that all my enemies think that's who the main guy pulling the strings is, but it's actually
They're
me.
pulling a Fast and Furious here.
There's a lot of family in this stuff. It's a family drama.
No, it's the fourth. I just watched it recently. The fourth one where the guy who plays the agent from American Fiction, he's like the guy representing the guy, and he actually turns out to be the guy. Braga, I think is his name.
Maybe. Yeah.
This is
That's the one.
downhill quick.
Well, anyway, yeah, great episodes. What my notes say. It's really solid. Yeah, don't bring up that fourth Fast and the Furious again.
I'm gonna drop you just one little breadcrumb, just one tiny little breadcrumb. Madrigal. That's all I'm gonna say.
They already mentioned it though.
I know, but like it's just in passing, but that's important.
What did they
mention in passing? Do you remember when it was mentioned?
Was it this episode?
Yeah, it was this episode. So
Ivan said it.
Did you say it? I didn't even remember that. It's in the last scene as he's going through everything that he's investigated with Gus, and he finds out Pollos Hermanos is owned by this other company called Madrigal.
Magical Electromotive.
Magical Electromotive, yeah, and that's where they got the part from that nobody paid for, that Gale signed for. Madrigal.
Don't research it. You know.
I only. Yeah, I don't do any of.
Pay attention, but now that you've heard it, pay attention when it pops up. Yeah.
And for clarity's sake, is that when we ever do the Breaking Bad wiki stuff, I only focus on the stuff on that episode. I only read the synopsis and the characters. I don't go any dig. I want to go into completely blind. My wife kind of hinted like we should watch the next episode. I'm like, no, because then I'll know what happens in the next episode before we record the episode. No, it's like, we can watch it afterward. I was like, maybe. And I
watch it again later, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not cheating.
Todd, any last thoughts?
No, I think we covered it. It's a great episode.
You're signed on to be back next week. Okay, cool.
Episode 10. I'll be here for episode 10.
Episode 10. That's when you'll see him again.
Maybe
we'll get Zach on at some point too.
We should. He needs to be on here. He needs to be on here more than like 2
couple times for season 5. We got to get him on a couple times for season 5.
Got to introduce him to the audience so that we can do our Breaking Bad character ranking. Our draft.
See, Todd doesn't want to say anything else because he knows he's going to give something up.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I feel like we said too much.
we probably did say too much, but yeah, I couldn't let that one slide. I had to mention it. Anyways, continue.
All right. Well, folks, these guys have talked too much. We will be asking the hard-hitting questions next week. Where the hell is Saul's bodyguard? What is Madrigal? And what's Walter Jr.'s next car going to be, man? Is he going to get like a cheap, crappy loaner? Who knows what's going to happen next? But until then, we will be doing one thing next week.
Breakdown of Breaking Bad.
What are we doing, Terry?
Sit and spin.